The Disappearance of Hatsune Miku. It's one of the hardest songs in the game. It's actually Extreme's probably the hardest song in the game. Where its Extreme charts no slouch either, despite it being a 9 star. So you want to get better at this song, because you either keep dying, you can't perfect it, or you just want better scores. Well, I'm gonna try and help you out. I've perfected this loads of times. I'm confident in saying it after this. Be about as easy as some 7-star songs. Like, if you're a new player, this could be one of your first extreme perfects, honestly. Let's get started. Alright, so just before the really hard bit with the double notes, I just want to make sure we're on the same page with how to do fast strings of notes, because some newer players, if they see this, might get stuck. Basically, while you can use one hand to tap really fast, in the long run you're not as accurate and you're more likely to mess up somewhere, like you get loads of goods and stuff. And if you're heavy handed, you might end up breaking your controller, like punching it all through the buttons or something. So try this instead, plus you need this for the next part basically. Looking at this first string of notes here, press a note with your right hand and press the next with your left, then back to the other, and keep going until you hit them all. Think of it like you're drumming, but with your fingers. Just try for a bit, and when you can do them all, ready to go on to the next problem part. Now here we are, the meat of the chart. This will dictate what your macros will be, since you'll certainly struggle without it and probably die. Get angry like that guy, the computer we saw before. Don't let this be you. Rise above it, come on. The first and most common layout that I see everywhere is this. Both the bumpers set to triangle and X, and the triggers set to square and circle. And what people tend to do is they press the double notes, every other double note which aren't those, with each hand, something called the fat thumb technique. Basically, they just, with one thumb, press 2 notes at the same time, like at an angle, and they drum kinda like what you did before in problem part 1, but this is much harder to do because you got to be so accurate with it, and it'll like never work for you. The opposite double notes, they just use the macros for, like, obviously. Alright, so if you can pull that off, great. But if you're fed up with it and you tried for ages and you can't do it and you want to cry in a corner, like me, then maybe this will be your ticket to success. Alright, now looking at one of my layouts that I'm going to call it the beginner layout just for this. It's like an easy version of an advanced layout that I normally use, but just for the sake of this, it's really easy. Alright, so set the triggers and bumpers like this, and now I want you to pinch square and R1 with your right hand, and left and L1 with your other hand, and just pinch them a few times just to get the feel of it. Like, yeah. Now remember how we did the fast notes in problem 1? Do the same thing here, but pressing them this way instead, and like instead of pressing the single notes, just for each one pinch instead, and press that first row double notes. It's a bit weird to get hold of, but trust me, it's a million times easier this way, at least for me. The next batch, you want to drum circles while pressing the triggers instead, like this. You'll figure the others out after a bit of playing around, that honestly, you've already got the perfect in the bag. That's all there is to it. It's that simple to learn, perform. The end's just more of the same stuff, but you have to be careful when to switch your drumming pattern. Well, I'm sure you can do it after a few goes. Alright, so that's the end of the perfect side of things. Now on to points and stuff, but if you insist on the layout I've shown you, not the one that everyone else uses, the easy one, it's probably in your best interest to swap it to the advanced version. It's not really much harder. You just have to think a little more about what you're pressing and not mix up the muscle memory with what you're doing right now. If you need help with what to press and you can't figure it out for yourself, check the link in the description and watch my inputs when the video is over. And that's all, I believe. Thanks for watching this. Hope it helps you out in some way. If you're still stuck with anything, you can always ask me in the comments, plus the feedback's always appreciated. Feel free to leave some suggestions for the songs. I've got a Betty XX and a Padachlorobenzene I was thinking of doing fairly soon, but until then, see you next time.